Hey guys, welcome back to Semojo Homestead, where we are going to do a garden tour. Our first one of spring, summer garden. I think it's our first one. Yeah. It's our first real one. If we did one, it was pretend, guys.
It was really just to show the design.
Yes. But we actually have some stuff growing. Some stuff better than others, but we're going to talk about that. We're going to look at that and bring you guys along. Also, this is an exciting weekend on the homestead. Why is that?
I don't know.
Someone's birthday is Monday.
Yes.
Which means...
Another year older.
Another year older and a great birthday song.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
I mean, we got to celebrate this lady, right? I mean, look at her. But anyway, that's enough about that.
Yes.
Let's get on with this garden tour.
So, before we go into the garden, I want to first highlight the garden gate. Once again, this was a Mother's Day / birthday present for me a couple of years ago. It is obviously our logo, and just to me, it's just a fun reminder of why we do what we do. Our logo is Semojo, you know that. Selah, Mariah, and Josiah are the inspiration for it. And as I see it, it's really neat because I see how even as they've grown, they're still Selah still loves the flowers, Mariah still loves the goats, and Joe always loves the chickens. So it just embodies who they are and who we are. Also, before we head in, we have to talk about the tea garden. It is crazy right now. It's so fun. The yarrow is beautiful. I love it when it flowers. We have yarrow. We don't use it as much for tea. I use it when there's an upset stomach. But I also love yarrow for the fact that it clots blood. If you're bleeding, you can chew it up, put it on the cut, the wound, and it stops. So we always will have this in the garden, but I also think it's lovely. I think the tea elements I love most in our garden are the lemon verbena and the mint. We have a wide variety of mints. I think that the spearmint is still my favorite. We also have some bee balm and lemon balm, and we have some anise hyssop. I don't love the anise flavor, but again, it's great if you have an upset stomach at all. So we keep it in the tea garden.
All right, guys, so we're going to go in the garden now. Welcome to the crazy loveliness that it is becoming. So right here in the beginning, we're just going to talk about these raised beds. So we have potatoes over here that are doing pretty good. I mean, overall, they're doing great. There's a chicken in the garden. Hang on. So these are doing good, especially for us. But later on, you're going to see some that are exploding. But have potatoes over here, and we got Sea Island red beans that will be growing up on the trellis. And then behind me is all of our culinary herbs that are loving it right now, especially the cilantro, which is actually kind of starting to die out, but that's great because it's gone to seed, and we are going to collect it for coriander. The other thing is the great little patio area over here that we created is being overtaken with time. I mean, you always say you never can have enough time. Well, we got enough time. But I love it because it's now just created this little narrow pathway, and got the onions back there that are starting to finish up. They got weeded today, so that bed is looking a little bit rough. But overall, I really like this whole section of the garden because it's just kind of open compared to the rest of the garden and a great entry welcoming spot for us.
We're gonna head this direction towards the path, my favorite part of the garden. As we pass, Jeremy for Mother's Day and the kids did make me some prayer rocks, which I'm super excited about. Josiah wrote 2 today and put them in the garden. So I haven't had a chance to write one yet, but I'm excited about finding them and being able to pray. We are going to head this way and talk about Josiah's corn. So Josiah loves corn. He loves all corn, but he really likes the colorful corn. So he got some glass gem corn and seeds in his Easter basket this year, and he planted them, and they are doing so well. I think we've hit the knee high before the 4th of July, so I'm excited to see how much corn we get from these. We have some more growing over here in this other little bed area, along with some squash. And what you'll see laying on the ground right here is actually our lettuce. It bolted, so we pulled it up and used it as a living mulch. We are going to let it refeed that soil and cover that soil so that we can add more nutrients to our garden.
All right, so next is the cucumbers. And this is kind of something we're doing as an experiment this year, but I would say so far it's a success. A nice weed growing up. Let's get that out of there, guys. All right, so they are growing up this trellis. So the whole idea is they're planted on this side, and then we're gonna let the actual like tops to the cucumbers shade the base of them. If you don't know, cucumbers do like to be shaded on the bottom, but like to have sun up top. So this is slanted so that it will do that. Also to hopefully prolong the brassicas, like the rainbow chard and stuff like that we have planted underneath here, because it's gonna create a little microclimate, provide a little bit of shade, and hopefully keep it cooler to extend that period. But what I'm really excited about are we have baby cucumbers. Look at this. Do you guys see that little thing? It is so cute. I'm just ready for it to grow up into a big adult cucumber though. But yeah, we are really excited about that. The other thing that is so cool that I am so excited, if you guys follow us on any of our social media like Facebook or anything, you have probably seen it, but this purple cauliflower, check that out. So the reason I am so excited about that purple cauliflower is we have tried it in the past, some like fun ones, and even like plain Jane white cauliflower. We have never had success with it, but we've had success. We've actually harvested 2 of those, and they are so good. I am very, very excited about those. Back here, we are gonna have melons growing, and so that's gonna be the melon section, and we'll see how it goes. But
so
yeah,
we're gonna head to my favorite part of the garden now, which is the spiral. And you know, one of the reasons why we do this garden tour is because we love to bring you into our garden, to share our garden with you, because this is a place that we want to create an experience. So you can't experience it if we don't bring you in. So we are going over the rock and going into the spiral. In the spiral, we have planted tomatoes. We have a lot of different varieties of squash. We also have beans coming up, and we have a ton of zinnias, which I love. I love the flowers mixed in. Another thing we have some volunteer peanuts from Joe's experiment last year. They did so well. I'm gonna just leave them and let those produce. And we also have some nasturtiums that are volunteer that we did not plant. So yeah, we have a lot of really fun things coming back from last year and some new things. I'm really excited about all the varieties of squash we have this year. We have several varieties of your winter and summer squash. So I can't wait to start harvesting those and eating them and preserving them for the winter, because one of the things I really like to use the squash for, even the summer squash, is spaghetti sauce. I like to use it to add some bulk to our sauce. The other thing we have, if you've seen it, my video, my short on Instagram, or my reel on Instagram, you know I love a snapdragon, and this snapdragon plant is just going crazy. Look at how beautiful it is. I love the colors of it. So we have snapdragons kind of throughout the garden, and hopefully next year we'll have a few more plants.
one of the squash that I am most excited about, the summer squash, is a gray zucchini. I'm kind of excited about that. It freaked me out at first because if you remember, we had a big problem with mosaic disease in our squash last year, and it like muddles the leaves. I'll link that video for you to check out. But this gray zucchini leaves just naturally do that. And so I thought we were having that issue again, but turns out, nope, it's just the gray zucchini leaves. So this is our asparagus patch. Look at all of this. Crazy. It is taking off, but the asparagus that we get out of it is just not the size that it should be for the age that this patch is. So what we're going to do next year, our plan is to build a raised bed here and basically dig up these asparagus and replant the crowns and get them in raised beds. This is a pretty compacted area in the garden. We've added a ton of dirt in here, but asparagus roots like to go deep. And I think what's happening is they're hitting that compacted soil and they're not able to get deep. And so they're not able to produce those big fat asparagus spears that come up. So Jess has hers in raised beds and they are like a year or two behind ours. They're like 3 times the size of ours. The ones she has in the ground are kind of like ours. So I think there's something to that. That's one of the plans for next year that we're gonna add to hopefully get a better asparagus crop.
In the greenhouse, we have a raised bed. That's one of the things I really, really wanted when we designed this the layout of this greenhouse. We put these potatoes in here and they are going crazy. Obviously, they really like the soil that we put in this raised bed in the greenhouse. Let's go check out these potatoes. This bed is just, look at these. It's just taking off right now. We have lots and lots of potatoes that I know we're going to be harvesting from this bed. There are actually also 3 tomato plants planted in this bed that are totally lost. So we're waiting for these to die back so we can harvest them and find those tomato plants. I have seen them. They are still growing. It might take them a while. We did not anticipate this. So another thing we have growing in the spiral for the first time on the homestead is some garlic. Super excited about this garlic. It seems to be doing really well. Like I said, we've never grown it before, so it looks really happy. I did discover, I was really excited about this. We have a flower coming back from last year. I don't remember the name. It has the red cones. The flower is that really, really beautiful pink. I'm so excited about these. I was so excited when I discovered that they are coming back. I thought that that we wouldn't see them again in the garden. So I'm really excited to have them back in here, and we can collect them or we can cut them and make some beautiful bouquets with them.
So as we leave the spiral, we get kind of sucked in, and I step on poppies, to these other fingers in here. What we've got growing in here are more tomatoes and our hot peppers. Our hot peppers are going to be in these rows. Well, they are in these rows. They will be, as in they will be producing hopefully soon. And we also have the onions that are still going. A couple of them are bolting, but most of them are hanging on and really hopefully producing some good sized bulbs underneath there. But we'll see. We'll see. We are also going to have sweet potatoes growing through these rows underneath, kind of as a living mulch. It's just one thing, again, I'm so ready for it to get in, guys. But one thing that I am then really impressed with is this chard. This is from last year and survived the summer, did fine, came back, somehow has not really bolted. So that's exciting, but it's huge. We need to be using it more, honestly, but we do like chard. The crazy thing is, if you can see, like, this thing has a trunk. This is not a stem or a stalk. That is legit trunk right there. So we cut the top off last year and then it started sprouting out the side, which is where all of this stuff came from. But we're gonna leave it, let it continue to do its thing until it just decides it doesn't want to perform anymore. So it will always have a space in our garden until it dies.
Thing we're going to talk about are these amazing blueberries that are behind me. So we actually transplanted these blueberries, most of these bushes, from our beginning homestead days. I'm claiming those days as homestead days when we had our patio home and we grew as much as we could in a very small space. And these blueberries are just filled. These bushes are just filled with blueberries right now. We definitely should not have a problem harvesting a fair amount of them and being able to freeze some. And something I've always wanted to do is kind of make a mixed berry jam. And with the blackberries, and I saw we had plenty of raspberries growing on our bushes, and these blueberries, I'm hoping to make a really good jam with those combined.
Speaking of the orchard, let's do a quick orchard update. So we got the blackberries all the way down here. They are starting to come on. Cass actually told me that she just stole the first blackberry, which is okay because I stole the first blueberries. So, you know, fair game, right? We got apple trees. This guy, I'm kind of excited about these. This is an American hazelnut, which we've had for several years. It got moved to the orchard, I think last year, because it just has not done well. But it is really starting to thrive. I don't see any signs of fruit on it yet, but you know what? It's doing a lot better. It will come. 1 year, it will come, and we will celebrate. The apples are hanging on. I did a video a couple weeks ago talking about kind of an update on those guys. We'll see. This one behind me, the wine sap, it's still our best producer. So it's got some apples on it. And we also have raspberries, which Cass referred to over there. Those clumps are looking really, really good. And then we have citrus. Let's go over there and take a look at them. So this is our citrus. Check this one out. This is the one that has like been battle tested, gone through it. This is the only original surviving one that we have. It has gone through several harsh winters and has made it. So I'm just like loving this guy because he has worked so hard. Don't know that we're getting fruit on it this year because he did spend all of last year trying to recover from a pretty hard knockback, but he is doing well. We also have another one behind me that kind of took a hit this winter, but has bounced back just fine, pushing out growth. So they're continuing to hold on, and we're continuing to be stubborn for citrus. The last thing that I'll take you over to are peaches. All right, so this is our lone surviving peach tree, but it is proving to be a pretty good producer. We've got several peaches on there, and this whole big monstrosity behind it that's coming out of it is our apricot graft. It did bloom this year, did not produce any fruit, but hey, that's okay. You know, it is really doing well. It is a strong graft and it's doing its job. So again, hopefully next year we'll have some apricots and it will be producing just fine.
We are going to wrap up in front of my favorite tree. Well, one of my favorite trees, the pomegranate tree. And we have our first little pomegranate of this season on the tree. So I'm so excited. We have harvested pomegranate before. Last year we didn't get any. We got a couple the previous year. So I'm excited to see another one on this guy. But let's go right into our highs and lows.
Highs and lows. You know you love them.
So you want to go first?
Sure. I haven't even thought about it.
Same.
So, okay, I do know what my low is. It was a stressful week. There was just a lot going on and kind of that overwhelming feeling, which, I mean, I feel like it's kind of the season we're in, but yeah, it's just a lot going on, feeling the stress. So that would be my low. My high would be last night. We went out and celebrated this lovely lady right here.
Kind of kicked off the birthday weekend.
Yes, celebrate her birthday. So yeah, I think that was my high. It was just a good, it was a good relaxing ending to a very stressful week that we just didn't get a lot of time together. Like we as a whole family just were like a million different places. So it was good to just sort of bring everybody together at the end of the week, celebrate her, and have it together.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. So my low would also just be the hecticness of the week. I had some late nights at the studio trying to finish up costuming, which still is not done. And I have a long list of props that aren't completed yet. So shows in a couple of weeks. starting to feel that crunch. But I know in the end, it always comes together. I have a great team helping behind me. So I have some team members that stayed late and came early, and they've knocked out several things. So it's going to get done, and it's going to be a great show, and then we'll be done. My high was probably last night as well, just hanging out with the family. We went to a nice restaurant, and the kids that the kids had never been to, so it was fun for them, a new place, and it was just a good relaxing evening.
Yes, it was. So thank you guys for coming along with us on our garden tour. I hope that it inspired you. That's one thing that I love about the garden tours, is that it's just a great way to get inspiration for your own garden, regardless of who's you're watching. Let us know what you're excited about in your garden that's coming up and coming along this year. Or if you're in one of those climates where gardening season is maybe at the very, very beginning, what are you excited about heading into your garden season? We'd love to hear it. Love to hear those stories. So thank you guys for joining along. If you have not hit subscribe, we invite you to do that. Become a part of our YouTube family, and just follow along on this fun, crazy homesteading adventure of ours. Other than that, we are going to go enjoy the rest of this weekend. Hope you guys have a great week and be blessed.